Hi, and welcome to my 7th video in the Popsicle series, where we blend the worlds of pop and classical music through arranging. This video in my series will focus on one of the biggest and most iconic pop stars of all time, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson rose to fame as a child when he was in the Jackson 5, and his extremely successful career followed him up until his death in 2009. He will forever be remembered as the king of pop with his biggest hits like Thriller, Billie Jean, and Smooth Criminal. Today, I'll go over an arrangement I did for another one of his classics, which is Beat It. So just at first glance, the rhythm does look pretty complex, and again, sticking with our classic tempo of 120 BPM when the original is 139, the stage 2 student might be intimidated by the rhythm, so they are encouraged to go as slow as they need. So we have the opening bass line in the left hand, which is also the intro that's in the bass in the song. And in my beginner level arrangements, I simplified rhythms. So if original songs had syncopation, I would just write them like straight 8th notes. And now I'm writing the rhythms accurate to what the song actually sounds like. So there is a lot of syncopation. So as you can see, like it starts on an offbeat. A lot of this starts like the half beat before. And in measure 2, actually, there is a really important arranging technique about beaming in the notation. So as you can see here, it looks a little bit weird because I have the 8th rest here, and then a quarter rest, or a quarter note, and then an 8th rest. So it's really important to really just separate the beats. So we're in 4/4, so we need to separate them into 4 beats. So this is the first one, which is the first 2 8th notes, and then this 8th note, and then the 8th rest is the second beat, the quarter note is the 3rd beat, and then the 8th rest with the tied 8th note is the 4th beat. So that's why, even though it looks a little bit strange, this is the correct way to beam it so the student can keep track of the beats and the lines. And then the right hand comes in measure 5, to play the vocal part, and throughout the left hand stops playing the bass line but instead switches to an 8th note accompaniment. And the objective is really just rhythmic here. It could almost be considered like a percussion line. The chorus does start here in measure 21, and the reason why I write so many 8th note rests is because there are 8th note lines in both hands. So now the student can clearly see which beat or half beat every note is supposed to line up with. Like these line up, and so forth. And lastly, the overall form of this arrangement is I did the intro, the first 4 measures, and then the first verse plays and I repeat it once, and then we just stick with the chorus.